I ain't gotta deal with that. I ain't gotta deal with you. I ain't gotta deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Read Proverbs 18. I'm telling y'all, read Proverbs 18. It was like you don't even have to respect them, the wicked people. They were saying in the Bible. You don't even have to respect them, wicked people. So no, I'm not finna deal with you. First of all, I ain't even gotta respect you, so you know I'm finna be like, move around. Move around. Because you better be glad I ain't put my hands on you. Move around. I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to give an example. I stay in Georgia now. You got this girl in Baton Rouge. You know, it's my brother's stepdaughter. She got into it with my brother. I'm talking about got into it with my brother. Call my mama B. I don't like that word. If y'all start following me and realize I don't like the word, I'm telling you, he's so serious with me about that word till it's ridiculous. And I just can't see how people just so careless and think it's cool. You know, they call their own self bees, their friends bees on it. But anyway, so I felt some type of way, and I still feel some type of way because when my mama was living, she really did help that girl. You understand what I'm saying? Like, really did. She did a lot for that girl. And for you to get into it, my brother, and call my mama B and my mama deceased, they don't sit well with me. They don't sit well with me at all. So she friend requests me on Facebook. And when I call my brother, she in the background, you know, hey, I'm like, so my mom like, so my brother never did relate the message that I said, tell her she's dead to me. That means I don't mess with you on no type of level at all. Now, trust and believe. I don't wish her no ill will and all that type of stuff. I don't wish, like, you know, like she really just died or whatever. You know what the saying is, it's like he did to me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, he didn't relate the message. Because, I mean, you couldn't have. For her to be thinking it's cool for her to keep speaking to me and like it's just, like, we cool. And you gonna friend request me too? On Facebook? No. Because I'm like, bruh, if I would have been in Baton Rouge when she said that, and my brother would call me and was like, dang, you know, I just got into it with, you know what I'm saying, woo, and, you know what I'm saying, she come, I would have been like, ooh, yeah, and I'm changing, you know what I'm saying, I have changed a whole lot. I have changed a whole lot. But there would have been a day. There would have been a day, like, there would have been a day I would have found out I got a whole lot of more changing to do. Trust me. So, I tell him, I'm like, bro, I didn't call you to talk to nobody else in the household. Because my little wife don't like me as well. Never did nothing. Never did nothing shit. I ain't never did it. Never did nothing. She also stayed with my mom and everything. My mama, because that's the type of person my mama was. She was like, my mama give you the last pack of meat in her house, and then we'll have to go to the shelter to eat. I'm just saying. So, when you say something like that about my mom, I'm like, and then my brother, I'm like, bruh, like she couldn't have been able to be around me no more. That would have just been a rap, like, cause my brother. But you know how relationships go. That's his wife, child, and all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she would have been homeless. You gonna get it how you live. Trust me. So, with that being said, don't be forgetting what folks do to you. If they, I'm talking about when people mess with, do you wrong, do you bad, bro. Like, don't give them no leeway. Keep giving them leeway and all that. Because I'm telling you, you gotta start trying to be real and stop being weak you know what I'm saying? And just because you're a people person, you love people, and you trying to change, and you trying to do right, don't mean that you got to take that BS. That don't mean you got to take that BS. Man, look, if y'all know the truth, anybody know anything about Jesus? Jesus went in and cut up in the sanctuary, throwing tables on all kinds of stuff when they were cutting up. When they was up in the what they call it, sanctuary or whatever it was, they was setting stuff, doing so they weren't supposed to be doing. He had turned over tables and everything. Jesus, I'm talking about, burned down I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm saying just this. Y'all know the stories. Jesus, whatever it was that he killed the people. Told the woman Sarah she wasn't supposed to look back, and then she looked back, turned to saw the pillar of salt, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I don't know why people be taking God for to play with, like he's some type of sugar daddy. Like the type of, don't take him to play with, because it get real. So if we in his likeness, what you think? If we are in his likeness, what you think? I'm just saying, stop playing with yourself and stop letting people play with you. Stop letting people play with you. Just because you're a good person, you love God, and you trying to change, and you trying to, do right, you save, you want to live a righteous life. You ain't got to let nobody play with you. You ain't got to let nobody be, take advantage of you because you save and you trying to change your life, you trying to do right, especially when you're in the beginning of the save process and you transitioning over and you feeling good and you done got, you went to the altar, they done prayed on you, they done put their hand, your head, they put it all on you, and you feel it, you understand what I'm saying? And preachers, I'm gonna say it, preachers need to stop saying, love everybody, you're supposed to love everybody. You're supposed to invite them in your house, you feed them, this and that. No. Proverbs 18 will explain it to you very clearly. You ain't got to respect wicked people or nothing. See, they ain't talking about that though. They say you gotta love everybody. If I ain't gotta respect you, so guess what that means? I don't even gotta love you. Go ahead. Move on. Move around. I'm good. Move around. I don't wish you no ill will. And if you do wish me ill will, well, you know what I'm saying? You and God gotta deal with that. I'm just saying for me, I don't wish no ill will, but don't be playing with me. Don't come around me. I already plainly said, I don't mess with you. Don't talk to me. Don't speak to me. Don't nothing. Because guess what? I'm gonna live and be good. I'm gonna keep moving. It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's life. It is what it is when you being real. See, a lot of people I notice, a lot of people that be in the world, because God said don't be in the world. They be so offended, everything, you know what I'm saying? Goodbye. Goodbye.
No, I think I forgot how it go, y'all. Be in the world, but don't be of the world. I think that's how it go, y'all. This is okay, y'all. Welcome to Ella Gray Being Random Podcast. Thank you. Okay, so this is my YouTube channel. I'm just letting y'all hear. I think I did this on my YouTube channel last year. One of my videos I did last year. So yeah, I think that's how it go. I don't know, but y'all do y'all research. I'm not a Bible scholar. Like I said, I'm a work in progress. So finish listening, and then I'm gonna come back with my commentary. I think that's how I go commentary. Is it come back with here you go. Just finish. Listen.
You figure it out. And if you don't, it don't matter to me because
watch this.
Proverbs 18 say, I ain't gotta respect you. Proverbs 18.
Ow.
You understand me? So I'm just saying, if you
is in Proverbs 18, y'all.
When they get saved and they read their Bible and they just being saved, yeah. And then even outside of that, you know what I'm saying, you want to talk to God about it and get a further information about it, further, you know what I'm saying, knows about, God talk to you. Do all that. Because I know we're supposed to be humble. You understand me? We're supposed to be humble. But don't be fake. Don't just because you trying to change your life and you doing right and you're a good person and you love people. Don't play with wicked people. Don't play with wicked people. Don't give them no pass. Don't give them no pass. I'm talking about out the gate. The first time they cross is over. Go ahead. Because you ought to be glad I ain't put my hand. I mean, and if you do put your hands on them, Proverbs 18:6 says, their lips invite a beating. A beating. That means a beating. Beat you. Yeah. You be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, beating.
Hey, Queen, girl.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I'm sitting here listening to you. I get exactly what you're saying.
Girl, I had did that on my YouTube channel, I think about last year. And girl, and you know that's pertaining to relationships with people, girl. And I was just sitting up here thinking about it. I was like, yeah, because people be doing that forgive and forget. You know what I mean? Like, and you know they got the little, you know how everybody had a little sayings, forgive and forget and all that old stuff. So no, I'm just saying me. That's just, I'm just gonna go from me, how I feel, and me dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? Church people, all kind of different people. You know what I'm saying? Especially them be some of the worst ones. But I didn't deal with people that they be there, you know, especially like when you trying to, you know, change your life and stuff like that. You know, you try to get yourself together and stuff like that. They be trying you and testing you. You know what I'm talking about? And it be like, why would you be trying and testing me? You know, I don't know if the test. Well, I do know the test be for you,
Right.
because you know God be showing you like basically like where you at in your journey and your walk.
Right.
But I am a strong believer of don't disrespect me, and I am a strong believer of I don't forget. Now I'm gonna forgive you. The reason why I'm forgiving you, it ain't about you. I'm gonna forgive you for me, so I can continue to get my blessings. I ain't gotta be with all that stupid stuff in my conscience and on my head. I'm gonna keep it moving. I ain't gonna wish no ill will. I'm gonna wish that you get a connection with God, that you start loving God and this and the third. But I'm not going to deal with you. Cause I'm telling you, people do that. They'll want you to forgive them, and you still deal with them, and then they still doing stuff to you. They still being manipulative, still, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, going behind your back, talking about you, this and that. You still, you know, especially family members, and you still just be dealing with them. Girl, look, I'm 46 years old. I'm not playing with nobody. I'm battling with myself. I was telling my children the other day, I'm Ella Brooks. You know, I got married, so my name Ella Gray. I say the Ella Brooks, me, used to be cutting up. I'm talking about cutting up. So the Ella Gray, I know that's who God need me to be. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, I need to be striving more to be. But it's like it's a battle with, you know what I'm saying, within myself, especially spiritually. But at the same time, I really do feel like I'm not finna let you disrespect me. I'm not finna let you play with me. No,
You saying it right.
I can't do that. I can't let you, you know, I'm not gonna do it. You all that cussing me out, you know what I'm saying? All close up, trying to get close up to my face, spitting. You know how people be mad, gonna be spitting out. Baby, I'm going to beat you. I'm finna drag you. That's what I'm finna do. You understand me? Because I know how to fight very well. You understand me?
I get exactly what I'm saying. Let me share with you what my mama had told me. She
Go, what
said,
way?
she said my ex-husband, she said, he's gonna want me back. She said, and when he said that, she said, you don't go back to him. I told mama, I said, listen, I'm not gonna go back to this man in Alabama. I told her I'm not gonna go back to him. After the fact that he didn't kick me out because he didn't cheated on me. Not on top of that, this man is a felon. Like literally, he's a felon. I remember when I had this conversation about you when he been locked up for 34 years and 6 months. What I did not share with
Oh,
you
yeah.
is that this man he has a murder case on him. Okay?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I want you to say. Whoa. But and the thing is, me dealing with him ain't no telling what he can do because he's a murder case. Okay, I'm looking at a murder
Okay.
case situation. So it's like my ex-boyfriend, what he done to me. For example, he's very abusive to me. He did me wrong. He threatened to kill me, and he's still on that motive where he wants to kill me. He wants to set me up to kill
Whoa.
me.
For
Okay,
real?
I'm dead serious. This is real. Like I told my mom and them, this domestic violence relationship is serious. Like I told my ex-husband, soon to be ex-husband family, I say, listen, y'all need to take this serious because these domestic violence, this something is real serious. Police officers don't play about that. I said, I'm gonna just lay it all down to y'all. They do not play about that. We have a friend, like her cousin had died. She was in a domestic violence relationship, just like how it was, an abusive relationship. And her boyfriend had killed her. Like literally.
What?
Yes. And they got this dude now. He in prison. They got him. He gone to jail now. They got him. But
Okay.
he's gonna get the death penalty. They're not letting him out, period, since he killed my friend cousin.
Okay.
So he's finna get what's coming to him. Best believe that. He will get what's coming to him.
Okay.
You know, so he told them like that, y'all want to take stuff serious. They don't play about that. Because
girl,
I'm telling you, Ella, mine is to the severe. Like my ex-boyfriend in Alabama, yes, he's threatened to kill me. And yes, he's still on the motive to where he wants to kill me. Yeah, he messed up my ankle and did damage to me on top of that. But yeah, he's still in that same motive where he want to kill me and my family. You feel me?
What? Yeah.
So I got the chief police officer. They gave me rights in Alabama to tote my gun and to have people against them. I'm proud of them for that because my plan was to get him for that. And like the chief police officer told me, say, if you ain't been in and have your gun, go get you one because you're gonna need one because now we know how this man is. I told him exactly. Right. That's what I want to hear y'all say.
Okay.
You know, like I told my mama, I said, we still going to have to keep our guard up. Because see what's going to happen is, if these police officers going to be on their job and be after him or his tail, trust me, he's going to come after us. Best believe that.
Oh, girl.
So, that's like I told my mama, we have to be on guard no matter what. Because the minute these police officers slip, this man going to be on our premises. Then we're going to have to literally do what we got to do to take him out. They can't say jack to us about it. Because why? This man harass us, came on our premises. So therefore, we got to do what we got to do.
Mean girl. And so y'all know that he trying to be after y'all, like he still getting rid.
I already know this man I already know this man being after. I already wanted this dude, as a matter of fact, in Alabama. I already wanted him because he was already harassing us.
My God. My God.
Now that he knows I'm not playing him, when the police officers slip, I'm taking them out. I'm not playing.
You gonna have to, girl. Girl, you gonna have to. You can't let him play with you. He cannot let you play with you.
I cannot let him play with what's mine. It was me, point blank and simple.
Jesus Christ, girl, that's scary.
I know it's very scary, but I got to do what I got to do. If these police officers don't be on their job and do what they got to do to him, I'm gonna do what I got to do on my end against him, and let's knock him clean on out. Point blank and simple.
So have you been have you been in touch with him? Talking to you talk to him?
I know I plan to not have no contact with him. I do not want to have no contact with him, nor his family.
Wait a minute, do his family uphold him?
His family, they're still staying in Alabama with him, and he knows where every last one of his family stay at. But not to remind me, he abused my second daughter as well. So my daughter, she in danger. So once I get her back, my family on my side, they're not gonna play. They're gonna make sure that she stay away from her daddy. Best believe that. My family on my end, they're not gonna play. Because the minute he be on premises, that's gonna be his ass. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Girl, that is ridiculous. For them to actually let that man So just by him, okay. So just by him making the threats, y'all, okay. Did y'all report all the threats that he made?
Ella, I recall all my threats that he did. I had all my threats that he did.
So you got it on record. They got it down.
They got it down. My restraining order papers, they still good, and I'm glad they're still good against his tail.
I'm glad they still good too. Yes, baby.
I made sure I checked them last month because I'm not gonna play with this dude. The minute I see him on his premises, I'm taking him out. I didn't already wanted this dude. I already gave him a warning because he kept stalking us and he kept stalking us, and I told them police officers, no, he stalked us and kept coming on our premises. Y'all need to do something about him because if they don't do something about him, I'm gonna do something about this man. I'm not finna play. Y'all gave me rights to choke my gun. I'm gonna take him out. I'm not playing.
Girl.
Take him out, or I'm shotting him again, and y'all taking him to jail. That's what's gonna happen.
Girl, I ain't lying. If I was you, it's a, that's what I'm saying. That's like a real difficult situation to have to live your life like that. You know what I'm saying? And be like looking over your shoulder and stuff like that.
And I'm telling you, like, it's crazy that I got to look over my shoulder, Ella, but I got to do what I got to do. Like I told my dad and my mama, I'm saying, listen, I don't care where I move to, and I have my pistol with me. I'm not letting my guard down against this dude. As y'all can see, this dude is not to be trusted. Period. They didn't already let this man out in October. They let him out of jail. They already talking about monitoring this dude. I hope they do monitor him because the minute they don't and they slip and he come after me, it's gonna be over with for him.
That is so crazy though, Queen. Like, and how long this been going on though?
Like, this been going on for some time now. And I never forget when the police officer had talked to me. It's been going on for some years now. He said he had to realize that I'm not fine. And I told him, I said, no, I won't be fine until y'all do something about this dude. And I'm dead serious. I said, the minute y'all don't do something about this dude, I'm going to have to do something about him.
Man, bro. They should have did something about him though anyway, just from the, I'm talking about just from the threats. Like just from the threats, they were supposed to go and talk to him, make sure he have an understanding. I think like, I don't know how every state law really is, so I don't know. But I thought when you make threats and actually come on your premises and y'all have, y'all have, evidence that he was been on y'all premises, threatened. I thought they supposed to go and talk to him or arrest him or something like that. Ain't that how it's supposed to go?
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. The minute they see him on the premises, they're supposed to arrest him. The minute they see him harassing us and have stalked us and on our premises, yeah, they're supposed to arrest him because therefore he have no business harassing us and being on the premises. That's point blank.
Okay, so but they haven't done that though.
No, they haven't really done that since he was on the premise. I had to call them. As a matter of fact, I had to call him to get him off the premises. But not only I had called him, I had the gun to my hand, so we back and forth.
Oh, you had a gun in your hand?
Yes, I'm dead serious. Like, I literally had a gun to my hand. This gun I had wasn't even mine at the time when I did call the police officers against this man. So, in my state of mind, I want to kill this MF. Excuse my expression.
Girl, you can talk the way you want to talk, girl. Go ahead, child. Say what you want to say, honey. Sure.
I want to kill this motherfucker. That's my motive right now because of what all he put me through. Like, this man is literally out there. Like, when I say he's literally crazy, he's literally out there. He's literally out there. So that's my motive. Because he didn't already made more than one threat to me. I didn't have to tell the judge. I even had to tell the owner's judge about this. Yes, he made threats of killing me, and he was dead serious. Matter of fact, he made plans to kill me and set me up how he was gonna kill me. As a matter of fact,
Who he girl? Wait, who he made the plan with though? Girl, how you knew that?
I'm telling you, like Ella, this man is out there, like literally. He tried so hard to kill me. Like I had two dogs. My two dogs had got him. And I thank God. I did have them two dogs. I'm telling you. Like
Oh yeah, that's good.
this man tied me up to the chair to try to kill me. Like this man was dead serious. Like he literally tied me up to a chair.
Uh-huh.
And this he was already armed with a gun. I ain't had no gun at the time, but he was. He had got a pistol from somebody. I don't know how he got this pistol, but he went and got a gun from somebody, and he was literally setting me up to kill. Man, I'm still pissed off about that, especially what he did to my ankle and made me and caused me my miscarriage for my child. So,
oh girl, yeah, they supposed to take him to jail for that, right?
With this man.
Supposed to say if he caused you have a miscarriage, then that means that's a death, right? So he's supposed to go to jail for that, right?
That is a death, Ella. That is a death. That is a death. So I'm glad that these people, the chief police officer, gave me right to tow the gun because they know I'm gonna have to do what I got to do. They know now I have to do what I have to do against this man.
Dang.
So, like I told my mama, keep your guard up because I'm sure finna keep my guard up. I'm not finna let my guard down for nothing. I told my daddy the same thing. Best believe I will have my guard up. I don't care where I go stay at. The minute I catch police officer slipping, I will kill him. I didn't already warn this dude, and I'm not playing with him. He sees that I'm not playing with him.
Cause that's how you gotta be. I'm telling you, Queen, I'm telling you, you're gonna have to be very, very serious, girl. I'm so serious. Like you're gonna have to ask God to give you the emotional strength to protect yourself at all costs, and ask God to keep
you because this man he made threats and then try to kill me on top of that. I'm pissed off with him about that because now I gotta do what I gotta do against his tail.
And then he did it to your child too, girl. Yeah, no.
Man, yeah, he did it to my child, Ella. He did it to my child. And that's
wait, where you from? Where you from, Queen? Where you from?
Huh?
Where he from?
Alabama, that's his home state. That's where he's
from. Okay.
His home state.
Okay, he doing that stuff.
Yeah.
He doing that stuff.
That's where the man really from. He's from Alabama.
Do you have any brothers?
That out. That was all I need to know right there.
Do you have any brothers?
Huh?
Do you have any brothers?
You got one brother. He got one brother and he got one sister.
No, I'm saying, do you have any brothers?
Yeah, I got brothers. I got 3 of them.
And what your brothers say? What they say?
My brothers, they all in. My cousins, they all in. Because because he threatened my daddy's side of the family against me. And I never forget when one of my cousins had called me on my daddy's side and told me what happened. I was mad about that when he made threats to them. Besides, he didn't already make threats to my mama. Because my mama was telling me about it. That he didn't make threats to her. And when she told me how he didn't make threats to her, I said, Mama, I hope you got all your papers recorded.
Yeah, you got to.
Because the minute you don't have all your papers recorded of him making all these threats to you, you're gonna be up the creek with that.
Yeah, they feel like you lacking or something like that. You gotta have everything in place.
Yeah, that's what I mean by you gotta make sure you have everything in place because they're gonna be looking at that boy. But yeah, he made threats to my mom. He made threats to my family on my daddy's side. And one of my cousins had told me about it. How he made threats to them against me, and I'm like, this man is literally crazy. He's literally out of his damn mind.
Is he? Is he out of his mind?
No, so
Baby,
I told my daddy, my daddy kept telling me to stay on guard. I told him, best believe I will stay on guard. I said, you ain't even got to tell me twice. I'm already gonna be on guard. I got no other choice. Cause this man is out there. The minute these police officers slip, that's their ass. He's going. I'm gonna have to kill him because he's steady. Don't want to leave me alone. I'm gonna have to take this man out.
girl, I hope to God that he don't. I hope he don't mess with you though. Yeah, I hope he don't mess with you. I really do. We're gonna have to, girl. We're gonna have to pray about that, like for real. Cause you don't need to have to kill nobody, but at the same time, if you do for to protect your life and your children, yeah.
Don't kill him. I'm already in that state of modem to where I want to kill this man, but I was told don't kill him. I didn't already shot this man at his butt. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I shot him at his tail. I didn't already shot at him once.
And he still don't, girl.
And he still don't want to leave me alone. And it's not even my own gun I shot him at in Alabama. Not even mine.
Girl, that man, that crazy. Yeah. He is out there. He is out there, Queen. If you already shot him too, yeah, he gone at this point. He is gone at this point.
He is not stopping. Like he is literally not stopping until he gets what he wants. He's literally not stopping. And right now, he waiting for me to catch on guard. That's his motive. He want me to catch on guard so he can kill me. But little did he know, my family knows that he's out ready to kill me. My family and friends already know this.
For real? So,
yeah.
See, I can't deal with that. See, that type of stuff up. I can't deal with that. Baby. I had a man, girl, like that girl stalking me, girl. I'm telling you, girl, when I pull that big 4.5 out, honey, girl, I ain't never seen him run that fast. And he got a bad hip. That nigga was bugging, running, girl, trying to get away. And I was like, cause my people always taught me, don't pull no gun unless you're ready to shoot. And I was definitely ready.
Right. If you pull the gun out, you better learn how to use it. You better know. You don't know how to use it, that's gonna be your tail.
I go to the shooting range and all that. Cause my husband was like, you gotta know how to shoot, baby. Yeah. I said, you ain't gotta tell me twice.
I'm telling you, Ella, like I remember many a nights I could not sleep. Like certain years I could not sleep, knowing I got to be on the lookout for my back because of him.
Damn. See, that ain't no life for nobody to live.
It's not. Like it's literally not. Like being in when I'm in the house alone, I gotta make sure I have my pistol on the side of me. Because I never know when this man gonna come. I got to be ready.
By all costs.
By all costs. Said the right words. By all costs. I have to. Because that man is looking to catch me off guard. And that's what I was telling my mama. I said, Mama, the man is looking to catch me off guard by myself. I'm not stupid. I know
that's right. I'm glad you know them.
That's going to be my ass.
Damn, bro. Man, bro. See, that's why I say, from now on, make sure you pick wisely for your mate. Pray and ask God, going fasting, but work on yourself before you even get into another relationship. Like, I don't care if it takes 5 years to have to get into another relationship. Work on yourself, you know what I'm saying, to make sure, like, you know how sometimes we attract what's in us, you know what I'm saying? So get all that out of you, get all that stuff out, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, ask God to get all that out. So by the time it's time for you to meet your husband, you attract what's in you, which will be, love, harmony, what I'm saying, humbleness, integrity, what I'm talking about, trust, all that type of stuff, like real compassion,
Yeah,
like, what I'm saying, that'll be in you, what I'm saying? Well, it's part of you already, but I'm saying that other stuff will be all the way gone, you
right,
know,
right, right.
because it is too much domestic violence going on.
You're right. It is. And this the second relationship I ever been in an abusive. This is the second one I ever been in that's an abusive in my lifetime with a man. Like the first abusive relationship I've been in, he didn't take it to extreme like this man here in Alabama. Yes, he was abusive to me, and that was a red flag and bad right there itself because he didn't literally
Right.
put his hands on me. But he did not threaten to kill me like this man in Alabama. Like this man in Alabama threatened to kill me and threatened to come after me and kill me. See, this man here in Florida that I was in an abusive relationship with, he did not threaten to come after me and kill me. He just put his hands on me and treated me bad all outdoors. I promise you that.
Oh man. Outside, girl, people was watching, looking and stuff, girl. That's the worst.
Yeah.
You know how that be. People be looking at you, girl, all sideways. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Espe-
talking about.
Then especially if they see you still with it after you did all that. You know how they be, girl. They be like, oh, she's still with him. You know what I'm saying? She was like that.
Like I told my
You
mama,
know,
I can't stand being in an abusive relationship. I really can't. That's why I'm glad I got out of it, out of this relationship, this abusive relationship. I can't stand when a man put their hands on a woman. I hate that with a passion. You know,
cause your girls watching that too.
time.
Cause your daughter's watching that too.
Yeah, my daughters like they literally watching it, and I would hate for them to go through what I went through. Like I would hate for it. Like really.
Yeah, you need to start praying about that now. That they would get the right man in their life, and they'll
That's
choose.
what I'm praying about that now. That they find the right man that's not gonna be abusive, that's not gonna treat them bad, that's not gonna be all about their downfalls. That's all about building with them, trust, honesty, all that crap. Love, happiness. I want them to be all that crap.
It's gonna happen for them too. God gonna make sure they straight. God gonna
I
make sure they
would,
straight. Trust.
I would hate for my daughters to go through what I've been through. I've been in through my worstest relationship in Alabama, my worstest, and that took a toll on me itself. Like literally, you know. But yeah, I'm definitely praying towards my girls. I will continue to pray. I will continue to pray. Like my cousins on my dad's side, like two of my guys cousins, they already all in with me for my ex boyfriend. They all in with me. And like I told my other cousin, if you gonna come down here, I told them if they're gonna come down to Alabama, you better come down strapped. I'm telling you, because I said as y'all can see, that dude is literally out there. Y'all gonna have to.
And this is and guess what? It's all because you rejecting him. They don't like rejection.
They hate rejection. They hate it.
Is he a narcissist?
Like I'm telling you, like he's and he's so obsessed, and that's a bad thing. That's another thing. That's the bad thing about him. He was so obsessed with me.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Obsession.
Yep.
How old is he?
He's young, younger than me, 32 years old. He my sister age.
32. Damn.
32. Yep.
You knew about? Do you know about his past like relationships?
I've heard of for what his family told me, yep, they told me about his. I didn't know anything about it until his family told me about his past relationships he was in, and they were in worse of scenarios situation I'm in. So it just went to show me that this man is literally out there.
Damn.
And
That's why I say.
I hate it. Like, I hate it, man. I really do.
So you at your mama house now, right?
Yeah.
And
And my ex, he know, and my ex boyfriend, he knows where my mama stay at. He knows exactly
what?
where she at. Oh yeah, he know where she at. That's why I had told my mama, keep your guard up, still keep your guard up, since he knows where she stay at. You're gonna have to.
Damn.
Yep. And I told her, if you got a friend police officer, I'm proud of you for letting him know about it, because he must know.
She let a police officer friend know.
Yeah.
He know about it.
Yeah.
God
I
damn
told
it,
him, I
girl.
said, you need more information you need to know about me, of him. I told my mama, let me know. I got you. I'll give you everything else information you know about him. I got you. I told her, just keep your guard up.
She gonna have to. She gonna. Hold up. Hold on. Dang. Hold on, right quick. Hold on, quick. Let me see if I got my own. God damn it. Where's my own? I'll be moving so fast, girl. I be multitasking, doing so much stuff. Hold on. Let me see if I got my paper. Hey, who is this? That's Kirkley Hennessy. Hey, welcome to the Ella Gray Being Random Pattern Podcast. Hold on, I'm looking for my stuff. Hold on, y'all. Gotta be multitasking. Did you talk to your kids today, Queen?
Yeah,
That's over there with
I
you.
did check up on my boys today, Ella. I checked up on my boys yesterday. I was told they're doing good. Since I checked up on my boys, my daughter is doing my second daughter. She's doing good, but I still know that she's still in danger by her being with her cousin.
Oh, she with her cousin.
She with my ex boyfriend's cousin. And that's another thing that the judge got me with placing her under his family care, knowing I ain't got no family in Alabama. That's another thing that really got me that the judge did. And see, that was the wrong move. To me, that was the wrong move for him to do, because that man, every last one of his family stay in Alabama. And if he want to show up to see my daughter, he will literally show up. But the thing is, they have to get a police officer to escort him out, because he feel, and sure enough, Ella, they did have the police officer escort him out, because he even tried a couple of times to go see my second daughter by himself when he feel he wanted to see her.
He went by himself.
I said she in danger.
Good. He don't follow. He don't follow rules or nothing.
Huh? Well, he don't follow rules, Ella. He don't. He really don't.
He don't need to. See, people like that don't need to be on this earth anyway. That's how I feel. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, my raw emotions about people like that. I really just be feeling like they evil. Why you still on this earth? Because all you doing is reaping habit. You know what I'm saying? People like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
That's all
exactly
you
what
do.
you.
You know, even though I believe in God, I love God, I really strongly believe in evil people, wicked people. Why? Why you still here so long? And all these good people be leaving the world.
Yeah,
Honey,
you
I'm
were
gonna
so
pray for you.
right there. And I feel for my daughter, like her being in danger. My second daughter being in danger. I just because she been abused by her father. Like it's actually in the system. And I'm like, damn, she's still in danger.
How old is she?
And she only 4 years old. Like she do not understand what's going on.
Right. Yeah, she don't understand.
As
She
she
don't know.
get on, his family gonna have to tell her that they gonna have to come out and tell her
But they
how.
probably ain't gonna tell. They probably ain't gonna tell her.
But if they don't tell her, I'ma tell. I'ma tell. If I was to see her, I would tell her myself how her daddy is. Like literally.
Somebody gonna have to tell her though, so she can have her guard up, cause she'll be thinking,
Somebody,
"Daddy, all right."
they gonna have to tell. They're gonna have to tell her because that man that man still come on his family premises for my second daughter De'Ara. And they still got to get the police officers to escort them out to this day. They have
Mm-mm.
police officers on them, and that's a bad thing. That's really a bad thing.
It is. It is. You know that.
But it's the truth. It's the bad thing, and that's what got me with the judge placing her on his side of the family. That was a wrong move to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why they do that? I don't understand. Why would they place him on his side of the family? I don't understand that.
I don't understand it either, Ella. But I was sitting there thinking about that. I was sitting there thinking about it. I just don't get it. Like she would be more safer place, more my family than his family, because my family is not gonna play that. Like she will actually be in a safe place with my family.
That's what I'm saying. God, Christ.
That they see how this man is. She would be in a safe place with my family side. And I just don't get it. I literally just don't get it.
Watch this. Oh, look. This a crime story, right? You know, I like true crime. Listen to it. It's like 28 minutes long. Listen to this crime story, girl. When I tell you, I would have never expected it would have ended up like this with this girl. I had found this documentary, and I'm like, because it's like it was paradise for her. But
Mm-hmm.
the, some of the signs was there, but she young, so she really ain't know. You know what I'm saying? So like, watch this, girl. This is. Oh my God! Did you know that you can get your prep for free? I don't know why she tell me that. Absolutely. With Mr. You tell me no thing. Let me see. Watch this. Watch this. Oh my goodness gracious! You would have never thought this. Many people don't realize this, but Australia is home to over 10,000 beaches spread across over 50,000 kilometers of coastline. Over 85% of Australians live by the beach. The beaches of Australia are prime tourist attractions. Gazing at the clear blue water, breathing in the fresh and salty air, and feeling the golden and warm sand beneath your feet sounds heavenly to most people. But for the Cordingley family, the beach isn't an emanation of serenity, freedom, and beauty. Rather, it's a horrific reminder of a crime that left them scarred with pain and despair forever. 24-year-old Toya Cordingley was minding her own business, walking along the shore of the quaint and secluded Wangetti Beach, approximately 38 miles away from her hometown of Cairns, with her dog, Indy, on a sunny afternoon of October 21st, 2018. But afternoon turned to night, and Toya never returned home.
Alarmed, her loved ones searched for Toya first thing the next morning, hoping that she was safe. But what they tragically found was Toya's lifeless body. Everyone in Cairns was plagued by horror and disbelief after Toya's ill-fated end. But questions were looming over everyone's head. Why was Toya attacked? Who was her attacker? And what led to such a horrible incident? The case of Toya Cordingley is shocking and downright depressing, and while Australia may be thousands of miles away for many of us, it's a case that hits too close to home for most. If you're watching this video, that means you're probably interested in true crime. And if you're interested in true crime, then I'd be willing to bet you'd be interested in this channel, True Crime Stories. So do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button below. It's totally free and keeps you up to date with all of my future cases. Toya Jade Cordingley was born on June 14, 1994, to parents Troy and Vanessa in Cairns, Queensland, along Australia's northeastern coast. She was the only child of her parents, and the family of three had a good life. But not for long. See, when Toya was still very young, her parents got divorced. Even though Toya's parents loved her to bits, their marriage wasn't working out. Troy went on to marry a woman named Mary, and Vanessa married a man named Darren Gardner. And they went on to have two more children, Jack and Lena. Even though divorces can have a significant impact on the child involved, Toya didn't seem to mind. If anything, she was excited to be a part of two families. So she was adjusting really well to her family's new dynamic. She even had a great relationship with her step-siblings, and everyone loved the vibrant and cheerful Toya. Family and friends defined Toya as carefree and adventurous. She had a warm and loving personality, and she was the person who said yes to new adventures. Toya loved fairies and anything mystic, and she was very outgoing with her style, especially her hair and her clothes. Toya changed her hair frequently. Sometimes she would have bright pink hair, other times it would be purple, and sometimes fire engine red. In October of 2018, though, Toya was sporting an icy blonde hair color. Toya's parents were no different either. They were unapologetically expressive with their styles. Sleeves of tattoos, funky hairstyles, and an alternative approach to life were things that were normal for the Cordingley Gardner family. All in all, Toya and her family weren't afraid to freely express their style. Toya also adored animals, so much so that she took up a job as a kennel attendant at a Paws and Claws refuge and boarding center in Port Douglas. Her love for animals can also be seen in her last social media post, which was in October of 2018, reading, quote, "No matter how talented, rich, or intelligent you are, how you treat animals tells me all I need to know about you." And I couldn't agree more. Paws and Claws counselor Michael Kerr defined Toya as a beautiful, loving soul and a loyal employee. According to Michael, Toya could calm down the most aggressive of dogs within minutes, and that was just a gifted quality of hers. Not long after, Toya did start a new job, working in a pharmacy called Whole Life in Earlville, a suburb of Cairns. But her heart was still with animals, so she continuously volunteered with animals and even kept lots of pets. Toya was also in a 2-year-long relationship with a guy named Marco, and the two bonded over their love for animals, especially dogs. Marco and Toya also had the same goals in life, and the two were head over heels for each other. Toya's family was over the moon for her, as she would finally with a guy who made her genuinely happy. The couple also had a dog, a German Shepherd Mastiff and Great Dane mix, named Indy, who was essentially a gentle giant. Toya and Marco moved in together with their pets, and life was perfect for them. But this would all change in the most heartbreaking way, on October 21st, 2018. The Cordingley family would be struck with something so unexpected and so tragic.
Doctor never told her about this. Have you heard of Lumi?
Lumi, yes.
Yeah.
Do they sell?
Sunday, October 21st, 2018, started out just like any other day for Toya. She had some errands planned, and one of them was to take her dog Indy out for a walk on One Jetty Beach, about 38 kilometers north of Cairns, roughly halfway between it and Port Douglas. She worked her shift at Whole Life Pharmacy, handing out camel milk samples to customers. And yes, you heard that correctly, camel milk. You learn something new every day, I guess. Anyway, after work, Toya made her way to Rusty's Market, which was close to the waterfront, to pick up some produce for dinner that night. And she was actually seen on CCTV footage between 12 and 1 p.m. carrying a colorful basket donned in a light blue crochet top with her hair up. After her trip to Rusty's Market, Toya returned home and informed Marco about her trip to the beach with Indy. She left the house at about 2:30 p.m. with Indy and made her way to One Jetty Beach in her 2009 blue Mitsubishi Lancer. She parked it near the southern entrance of the beach, and then it's assumed that she went for a walk on the beach with Indy. One Jetty Beach is a remote shoreline, with 4 kilometers of coastline and no facilities apart from a parking lot and the highway. The beach is known as a local secret, and it's very quaint. But Toya would never make it back home for dinner. When hours passed and afternoon darkened into evening, Marco started to worry about Toya, as she wasn't answering her phone and wasn't home yet. At 9 p.m., Marco called Jack, Toya's stepbrother, and asked if she was there with him, as she still hadn't returned home for a very long time. Jack was also immediately alarmed, as Toya hadn't come to visit him, and he went straight to his mom, Vanessa's room, who was getting ready for bed at that time. As soon as she heard the knock and saw her son's visibly nervous and shaken demeanor, Vanessa felt in her gut that something was wrong. Jack went on to tell Vanessa that Toya was gone since that afternoon, and no one could reach her. The police were immediately contacted, and 24-year-old Toya was officially reported missing at 10:50 p.m. Vanessa even called Troy, her ex-husband and Toya's dad, and together, along with friends and family, they started looking for Toya in their neighborhood, and even spread word across social media. The police suggested that they look for Toya in the morning, because One Jetty Beach was essentially a pitch-black pit of sand and water at that time, and with the high tide, it was impossible to find anything, and it could have even been dangerous for searchers. While the police's suggestion was reasonable, Toya's family was eager to start their search, as they wanted to find her immediately, no matter what time of day it was. But without having any luck during the evening, the investigators and Toya's family eventually agreed to look for her first thing in the morning. The 22nd of October rolled around, and early in the morning, Toya's family, armed with flashlights, went to One Jetty Beach, where they found something that bloomed hope in their fearful hearts. It was Toya's car. It was still parked there, but there was no sign of Toya. But the family was relieved at that moment because it meant that Toya hadn't left the beach and gone somewhere else. When the group made it to the shore, the tide was still high, although there was still no sign of Toya. But Vanessa did find something. Or someone. Vanessa's eye wandered towards a bush, and she felt as though something was moving behind it. When she made her way towards it, she saw Indy, Toya's pet dog, tied to a tree so tightly that it was unable to sit down. This clearly wasn't done by Toya. She was a die-hard animal lover and put her pet's comfort before anything else, so it would have been impossible for Toya to tie Indy's leash so unbearably tight. Troy and Vanessa freed Indy by cutting the leash, and Vanessa made her way to the car to charge her phone, since it had now run out of battery. This was probably a divine sign, because as the sun started to rise and the tide began to wash away, Troy made a horrendous discovery that no mother or father should ever have to witness. See, when the tide slowly retreated, Troy noticed something poking out of the sand. As he approached closer, his mind registered what he was looking at. It was a human foot. About 800 meters away from where Toya parked her car at 7:45 a.m., her body was tragically discovered by none other than her father, buried in a shallow grave. The sight of his only child in such a terrifying state is forever burned into Troy's mind. Toya was disrobed and had sustained violent injuries, possibly from a knife. Vanessa was informed of her daughter's discovery and tragic passing by Jack, her brother, and she was struck with shock and disbelief, and then unadulterated horror and grief. Her 24-year-old, life-loving daughter had been taken away from her in such a tragic way, and she couldn't do anything but cry. Vanessa, because of how grave Toya's injuries were, wasn't even allowed to see her daughter as she was being taken away from the beach. It's so harrowing for a parent to go through this. Troy and Vanessa knew that their lives would never be the same again. The Queensland detectives also had some things to worry about, and primarily it was Who attacked Toya? And was it someone that she knew, or was it a random attack? The city of Cairns was shocked by Toya's unfortunate passing, as she didn't have any enemies and was the kindest, gentlest person anyone knew, and they were scared that the perpetrator was still out there, and no one knew who they were. Even though One Jetty Beach was a beautiful place to visit, it wasn't the safest place for women. This sandy beach had an uncomfortable history that made it unsafe. See, there were multiple occasions when girls and even young women, including Toya's best friend Megan, had gone to the beach for a fun getaway when they saw random men peering out of the bushes watching them. Some of the incidents were downright indecent and uncomfortable for the girls because men would disrobe and perform inappropriate acts right there in front of them. This string of incidents left girls and women with no choice but to flee the scene in obvious discomfort and fear. Since it was a remote place surrounded by bushes, shrubs, and a highway, One Jetty Beach became a hotspot for predators and vile people. To be at this beach in the presence of friends was bad enough, but when you consider that Toya had been completely alone that day, aside from her dog, well, the story speaks for itself.
Oh, dog shit.
So the question was, is this what happened to Toya? Did one of these predators manage to grab her and do the unthinkable? Amidst the investigators trying to uncover clues that could lead to answers for the grieving Cordingley family, Toya's funeral was held on November 2nd, 2018, and hundreds of people flocked to say their final goodbyes to a bright young woman whose life was tragically and unexpectedly cut short. What was so heartbreaking was that Marco, Toya's boyfriend, attended the funeral with Indy, who was with Toya on the day that she was tragically attacked. I know a lot of people joke about what if dogs were able to talk, but in all seriousness, if there were ever a time for a dog to be able to speak up, it would be right now. Indy likely saw the entire attack from beginning to end, and those memories are simply etched into that dog's mind, never to be released. At the end of the funeral, Toya was laid to rest with freshly picked flowers, surrounded by the people that she impacted so deeply. Meanwhile, the investigators taped off the beach, and divers and canine units were called to find any traces of another person that could be Toya's killer. DNA testing, surveillance footage, forensics, witness reports, everything was checked by police. They even checked cell tower activity on the day and time that Toya was at the beach. The detectives also had obvious suspects at the time of the crime, including Toya's boyfriend Marco and her stepdad, Darren. But they were both soon ruled out because not only did they have airtight alibis, but it didn't make much sense as to why any of them would want to hurt Toya. Moreover, there was another very confusing part about this whole case, and that was the question, why was Indy unharmed? Usually, when an evil person commits heinous crimes, they unfortunately don't leave pets unscathed. But to investigators, Indy's survival meant that the perpetrator was possibly someone Toya and Indy both knew, which could explain why the dog didn't attack when Toya was nabbed by her assailant. But it was soon found out that Indy was an obedient dog by nature, and even though his size would make people run for the hills, Indy was affectionate towards even strangers. So the idea of Indy being willing to tear down Toya's attacker, well, it seems fairly unlikely. Anyway, the investigation was massive. It even included alternative and voluntary DNA testing of residents living near the crime scene, so that investigators could shrink their suspect list down. Investigators also looked at cars driving down Captain Cook Highway. And finally, after 6 months of combing through all the footage and cell tower details, the investigators had a suspect. They found him based on dashcam footage, geolocation, and a bizarre car that was seen swerving down the highway that overlooked the beach on the same day Toya went missing. When police ran the plates, they came across two very shocking things. First, the car wasn't registered to the area where it was seen, so it could have been someone who was simply visiting One Jetty Beach. But the second detail was more alarming, and it was that the person who owned the car left Australia on the day of Toya's disappearance, taking a flight to India. This was alarming for investigators because now catching the perpetrator was going to take a cross-continent effort. But who was the man, and what was his connection to Toya?
Ice, please. Extra cold.
Was this fire person's day hard enough? Or a Mike's Hard Lemonade, Joel?
Was it?
As police honed in on their primary suspect, they revealed that he was a 34-year-old Indian man named Rajwinder Singh. He made the move from India to Queensland years ago and was currently working as a geriatric nurse in a hospital about 90 kilometers south of Cairns. When the detectives visited the hospital where Rajwinder worked,
Hey, Gertrude, thank you for joining Ella Gray Being Random podcast. Thank you. I'm watching the true crime documentary. I love true crime. Do you love true crime documentaries? I do, especially the short ones, because I can go through a lot of them, like really fast, like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's me.
coworkers remembered him acting weird and closed off a couple of weeks before the 21st of October. Rajwinder was apparently suffering from depression and chose to stay in his own company for the most part. He never really got out much and didn't associate with his coworkers outside of work. But this didn't sound alarming at first. Sometimes people just prefer to keep to themselves. But the police made their next stop, which was none other than Rajwinder's home. Unsurprisingly, they didn't find him there, but rather his wife and 3 children, one of them being a newborn. According to Rajwinder's wife, he left Queensland coincidentally on the 21st of October, heading for Sydney. There, he stayed with his sister for the night before catching the flight to India. Rajwinder's movements and hasty actions further solidified the investigators' suspicions. But there was more. When police talked to the witnesses, they stated that Rajwinder's face, neck, and even his hands were littered with scratches and bite marks, which is very concerning. Australian investigators knew that they had to work together with Indian law enforcement to track down Rajwinder and extradite him back to Australia to face the law, because these wounds he'd sustained had almost certainly come from Toyah. At least this was the theory detectives were operating under at the time. But it wasn't going to be easy to track this man down, and from that point onwards, a long and brutal waiting game began for Toyah's family, which was frustrating but inevitable. Extradition processes can take a lot of time to reach completion, because you're talking about 2 countries coming to the same page regarding the presented evidence to catch a criminal. It can essentially be a court case in and of itself, and we all know how many years court cases can take to reach a conclusion. Even though Australian police knew that Rajwinder was in India, after confirming with Indian detectives, things weren't going to be smooth sailing. The Australian government wanted to present rock-solid evidence against Rajwinder, which they had in the form of DNA found at the crime scene. And they didn't want to scare Rajwinder away because he seemed to have a tendency to flee when things didn't go his way. The process of making a brief of extradition took Australian law enforcement almost 2.5 years. All the while, Toyah's family was growing impatient by the slowness of the law, as they wanted justice to be served for their innocent daughter, who unknowingly and possibly became a victim of Rajwinder. But as the brief was sent in, nothing was really done. Indian investigators still needed to find Rajwinder, which was easier said than done. The local authorities in Australia even offered up a massive...
Let me say something. I gotta say this before I forget. You can be a carefree type person, okay, but you need to be a carefree type person with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and a firmness about yourself. Just because you carefree don't mean you have to be like, oh, so friendly to everybody, and then especially if you know that type of place is, was already been talked about as being like, predators and people being on it over there, men being, very disrespectful and doing different stuff. Like, come on now, you gotta have some wisdom with yourself, have some knowledge and understanding with yourself. Like, don't do that, My God.
$1 million reward for information leading to Rajwinder's arrest. Thankfully, the promise of money worked, and less than a month later, a significant tip came in that would lead police right to Rajwinder. According to the person who gave the tip, Rajwinder was now part of a religious group. He wore a turban, had grown a long beard, and had lost a lot of weight too. Essentially, from what we can gather, Rajwinder was trying to blend in with the crowd, which is so infuriating to know that he knew good and well that he was a wanted man. Moreover, the person also gave detectives a crucial piece of information that would ultimately lead to them catching and arresting Rajwinder. See, he was about to visit New Delhi in a couple of days for a doctor's appointment, and the detectives knew that this was their only chance. Finally, on November 25th, 2022, 4 years after Toyah's disappearance and subsequent passing, 38-year-old Rajwinder Singh was arrested in New Delhi and held in a jail cell awaiting extradition. Surprisingly, he soon confessed to the crime in front of an Indian court. When asked about the motive, the answer he gave was vague yet terrifying. According to Rajwinder, on the 21st of October, he apparently got into a heated argument with his wife and left for Cairns to cool down. He oddly had a kitchen knife with him at that time, and once he reached Wanjeti Beach, he sat on the sand, cut up some fruit, and was enjoying some peace and quiet. This was when he heard a dog barking at him. This was sadly Indy, who was with Toya. The incessant barking angered Rajwinder to no end, and he started yet another argument, but this time with Toya. During the argument, Rajwinder, in a rageful haze, pulled out the kitchen knife and launched a vicious and frenzied attack on Toya. It's speculated from the injuries that he sustained that Toya fought for her life, but Rajwinder overpowered her, and tragically, Toya lost her life in the end. What was so harrowing was that the only witness to this horrific scene were Toya, Rajwinder, and Indy, whom Rajwinder tied to a tree after burying Toya's body in a shallow grave, and then fled the scene. It's so unbelievable that Toya lost her life at the hands of a man that she didn't even know. She was simply walking on the beach with her beloved dog when she crossed paths with an unstable Rajwinder, who mercilessly attacked and ended her life over such a minor issue, which I don't even know if you can call it that. It's just a dog doing what dogs do, bark. It's essentially normal behavior. Toya lost her life for literally no reason at all.
Did you see? Did you see that those were babies?
Did I know those were human?
On January 24th, 2023, the Delhi court approved the extradition of Rajwinder Singh on February 28th, and he flew from Delhi Airport to Melbourne Airport to face prosecution for ending the life of 24-year-old Toya Cordingley. He was eventually charged with murder in March of 2023, and you would think that would finally be the end of it. But Rajwinder's defense was nowhere near done. May 1st of 2024, a pre-trial hearing was held which opened a whole new can of worms. See, the court was presented with evidence that Toya was in a secret relationship with a man named Tyson Franklin, a podiatrist, whom she met a few weeks before her passing. A series of text messages between Tyson and Toya were also presented by the defense in court. In the messages, Toya confided in Tyson about how Marco was, quote, angry at the world, and that those emotions had been projected onto her. Tyson even appeared in front of the court and stated that he and Toya had chemistry. Tyson also confessed that he was in contact with Toya via text until her passing, and that Toya told him that she was considering moving to a new place by herself. Shockingly, Tyson was questioned by the investigators at the time of Toya's disappearance, although he conveniently left out the part about him and Toya secretly seeing each other. But he confessed to them being involved with one another in court during a cross-examination. Now, it's unclear whether Toya was actually seeing someone else besides Marco, her boyfriend of 2 years, or if this was just a ploy by the defense to deter the actual course of the case. While Tyson and Toya certainly were friendly with one another, I wasn't able to find any concrete proof that the two were romantically involved. The reason I tend to believe that they weren't is because of Toya's plans for the future. For example, moving out on her own. She didn't seem to include Tyson in this. She strictly said that she wanted to get away from Marco for a while and nothing else. Regardless, this revelation has brought about some new opinions on Toya's case. The vast majority of people still believe that Rajwinder Singh is responsible for Toya's death, as his fleeing the country following Toya's demise was very dodgy considering that his wife just gave birth to a newborn child. He'd sustained mysterious injuries. His car was seen at the area at the time Toya disappeared, and he also confessed to the crime, although he later recanted this confession.
Wait, what?
On top of that, he even tried to change his appearance to blend in with the crowd, all of which is highly suspicious. But there's another opinion of some people that Rajwinder Singh wasn't the one to attack Toya.
What?
Rather, it was someone close to her. This opinion points fingers at either Marco or Tyson. Some believe it's possible that Marco took Toya's life because he found out about Tyson. But again, there's no evidence to suggest that Toya and Tyson were romantically involved. Also, Marco was cleared as a suspect very early on, and Tyson didn't seem to have any ill will towards Toya whatsoever. So Tyson can't be put at the crime scene either. There are so many unknowns in this case, and unfortunately we'll have to wait for the trial to find out how all of this really unfolds. Speaking of the trial, as of the most recent updates, Rajwinder's trial for Toya's murder has been delayed to February of 2024, after his attorney, Angus Edwards, applied for an adjournment at the pretrial hearing held on July 19th of 2024. The reason for the adjournment was that the defense team needed time to go through heaps of evidence. The Cordingley family is finally at the point where they feel like justice will be served for Toya. After spending 6 long years waiting for updates on Toya's case, the painstakingly lengthy extradition process, and the eventual extradition of Rajwinder, well, it's taken a toll on the Cordingley family. They've lost faith in the Australian justice system, all the while facing harsh criticism from the people around them. Toya's mom, Vanessa, expressed her sadness at a certain group of people in the community who brutally judged the family and their so-called alternative lifestyle. It's just so heartbreaking that an already bereaved family is being constantly bombarded with such cruel words just for being themselves. I'm telling you, across the globe, we seem to live in a culture that constantly preaches about equality and inclusion. We keep seeing all these different movements and hearing all these statements from people who are constantly preaching about equality. But let's be painfully honest. People only want equality for those whose lifestyles align with their own. That's the God's honest truth.
That's right.
The fact that people are badgering Toya's family just because they're a little unusual, shame on you. The case of Toya Cordingley may be well on its way to closure, but it's not there yet, and this is what makes everything so unfulfilling and disheartening. Toya was a young and vibrant woman who had her whole life ahead of her, but everything she had planned for her future crumbled, and she never got to live her life to the fullest. Toya's family is not even close to moving on with their lives. With Rajwinder's trial due in February of 2025, the Cordingley family is counting down the days until they can finally move on to the road of healing from this irrevocable loss. If Rajwinder is the person who snuffed the life out of this innocent and unsuspecting young woman, then this is so frightening. To think that you can randomly cross paths with someone so volatile and unstable is just beyond eerie. This case is a shining example that danger can be found literally anywhere. Broken, disturbed people are walking among us, and we probably pass by multiple people like Rajwinder Singh every single day without knowing it. We can only hope that the trial can hold answers for the Cordingley family, as well as the closure that they need to finally move on with their lives after experiencing such a perpetual nightmare.
This one, y'all, is, oh my goodness
life unraveled
gracious.
into a web of deception?
This
Could
one
you
here,
bear the weight of the truth if the person you cherished most harbored a secret capable of obliterating everything you held dear? In this chilling true crime case, we delve into the horrifying tale of a husband who uncovers a shocking revelation about his wife, a revelation that culminates in a grisly,
this shocking. Watch this.
in Houston, Texas, a newlywed husband unearthed a secret so sinister, so shattering, that it spiraled into one of the city's most gruesome and unforgettable crimes. This isn't merely a story of hidden pasts or shattered trust. It's the harrowing account of a marriage that descended into a nightmarish abyss, shocking even the most seasoned detectives. The secret was more than dangerous, it was lethal, and when it surfaced, it tore lives apart in the most devastating way imaginable. On the surface, Marcus Johnson and Ebony Davis appeared to embody the epitome of a perfect couple. Their love story resembled a fairy tale, a romance plucked straight from the pages of a best-selling novel. The kind of love that friends envied and strangers admired. Both Marcus and Ebony were proud Black Americans from the vibrant, sprawling city of Houston, Texas, where their paths first crossed at a community event hosted by their local church. Stories like this remind us of the critical conversations we need to have about love, trust, and societal pressures. Don't let Ebony's story fade away. Be part of the movement for awareness and justice. Subscribe now to stay informed on stories that matter, inspire change, and spark meaningful dialogue. Marcus, a towering man with a rugged, magnetic presence, was a 32-year-old construction worker known for his deep-rooted connection to family and community. Raised in a strict, conservative household, Marcus carried the weight of traditional values with pride. He was the epitome of a provider, a man who believed in hard work and dedication. Friends often joked that Marcus had a selfless streak so profound, he would care for others long before thinking of himself. He was a protector, a man whose unwavering principles shaped his life, especially when it came to marriage. Ebony, on the other hand, was a vision of breathtaking beauty. At 28, she was the kind of woman who commanded attention wherever she went. With her radiant brown complexion, captivating dark eyes, and a smile that seemed to light up entire rooms, she turned heads effortlessly. As a talented hairstylist, she had carved out a respected name for herself in Houston's bustling beauty industry. Her confidence was magnetic, her charm irresistible, but it was Ebony's warmth and charisma that truly left people spellbound. She had an uncanny ability to make everyone feel seen, valued, and special. It wasn't long before Marcus found himself utterly captivated by her, drawn to her as if by an invisible force. Their courtship was a whirlwind, a passionate, electric connection that moved faster than anyone expected. Friends and family watched in awe as their relationship blossomed almost overnight.
I can't see everybody on here. I don't know why it do that to me. I don't know if it's my system or whatever, but welcome to the Ella Gray Being Random podcast, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's boring. This is like the boring Tuesday. I'm glad the election is over. Thank y'all for hanging out. I love true crime. Let me know if y'all love true crime. Well, y'all obviously must do love true crime. It's about relationships and so on and so on. I'm going to put my email in here. So I want y'all to let me know what y'all want to hear, who y'all would want me to. Because I got a lot of stuff coming up for the new year. I really do. I'm so excited about the new year, y'all. I already started. I've been working on the new year. I think I started working on my new year, y'all, like in April. Ooh, Lord, it probably was too soon. But yeah, I started working on my new year stuff and reaching out to people who I want to be on my podcast, in April. But I'm going to put my email in so y'all can text message me. And I'm going to start doing games like trivia for y'all. And I don't even know how to play trivia. But guess what? We're going to play trivia. If y'all like play trivia. And we're going to be doing Family Feud. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff because I'm going to collab with my YouTube channel so y'all can visually see what is going on. Y'all can see behind the stage, behind the scenes of my goofy little family, and for my fan club members that pay the $5, going to see a whole lot storytelling and, the backstory of me, yeah. So, yeah, everything be raw and uncut. I don't know how to edit, so I got to learn how to edit some stuff because anyway, just listen. I don't want to keep rambling. Just listen.
Within months of their first meeting, Marcus was proudly bringing Ebony to every family gathering, beaming as he introduced her as the one. Ebony seemed to fit effortlessly into Marcus's world, winning over his loved ones with her grace and charm, especially his mother. But beneath this picture-perfect facade, a dark and devastating secret was lurking, one so profound it would obliterate the life they had carefully built together. A secret that, once revealed, would lead to bloodshed, betrayal, and a crime so horrifying it would shake the city of Houston to its core. This is the story of how love turned into terror, trust into destruction, and a seemingly perfect marriage into a waking nightmare. Marcus had fallen deeply and irrevocably in love. So much so that within a year of meeting Ebony, he dropped to one knee and proposed. With tears streaming down her cheeks, she said yes without a moment's hesitation. To those around them, it seemed like the perfect love story, a whirlwind romance straight out of a movie. But beneath the surface of their picture-perfect relationship, cracks were forming, subtle at first, almost imperceptible to Marcus, but destined to grow into fractures too large to ignore. Their wedding day was nothing short of a dream. Held at the historic Houston Baptist Church, it was a grand affair with over 200 guests in attendance. Every detail had been meticulously planned, creating an atmosphere of pure magic. Marcus stood at the altar, his heart pounding as he watched Ebony glide down the aisle. Dressed in a shimmering white gown that caught the light with every step, she looked like a goddess descending from the heavens. Marcus could hardly believe his fortune. He felt like the luckiest man alive. But even amid the splendor of the ceremony, there were faint signs of unease. Ebony's gaze occasionally drifted, her expression distant, as if her mind were somewhere else. When they exchanged vows, Marcus noticed her hands trembling slightly. He chalked it up to wedding day jitters, dismissing the nagging feeling in his gut. After all, it was the happiest day of their lives. What could possibly be wrong? Their honeymoon was just as lavish as their wedding. Marcus spared no expense, whisking Ebony away to a secluded Caribbean paradise for 2 weeks of sun, sand, and passion. The turquoise waters and golden beaches were the perfect backdrop.
Wait till he find out who it is. Ooh,
yet,
y'all.
despite the idyllic setting, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss.
Oh, yeah.
At times, Ebony seemed withdrawn, her gaze fixed on the horizon as if lost in thought. When Marcus gently pressed her about what was on her mind, she would brush him off with a soft laugh and a reassuring smile. Don't worry about me.
Watch them smiles, y'all.
Wrapping her
That pretty
arms
face
around
and the
him
big button
flashing
smile.
kind of smile that could melt his heart. But her words felt hollow, and her eyes betrayed an inner turmoil she couldn't, or wouldn't, share. Back home, life settled into the routine of newlywed bliss. They moved into a cozy house on the outskirts of Houston, a quiet neighborhood that offered the privacy they craved. Weekends were spent in domestic harmony, Marcus working on the yard, Ebony focused on growing her beauty business. It was the kind of life Marcus had always dreamed of, a loving wife, a comfortable home, and a bright future ahead. But as the weeks turned into months, a shadow began to creep into their marriage. The subtle unease Marcus had felt on their honeymoon began to grow. Ebony's behavior shifted in ways that were difficult to ignore. She became more guarded, locking her phone whenever Marcus was nearby and disappearing for hours without explanation. She claimed her salon business was booming, requiring her to work late nights, but when Marcus made surprise visits to bring her dinner, the salon was often empty. The excuses became more elaborate, meetings with friends Marcus had never heard of, urgent errands that always seemed to take longer than expected, phone calls she answered in hushed tones. Marcus's suspicions gnawed at him like a slow-burning fire. He wanted to believe her, to trust the woman he loved, but the inconsistencies were piling up. Still, he tried to convince himself he was overreacting. Love,
want to come up for destruction,
trust, and no marriage was perfect. But the distance between them only widened. Intimacy grew rare, and when it did happen, it felt mechanical, devoid of the passion they once shared. Ebony would often turn away from Marcus afterward, avoiding his gaze. Sometimes, she seemed on the verge of saying something important, her lips parting as if to release a confession, only to fall silent once more. Her struggle was palpable, but she refused to let Marcus in. Then came the night that shattered everything. Marcus had always trusted his instincts, but he had ignored them for too long when it came to Ebony. That night, as the truth began to unravel, Marcus would come face to face with a reality so devastating it would change his life forever. The perfect love story he had built his life around was about to collapse, revealing secrets so dark and destructive they would shake him to his core. This heartbreaking tale shows how hidden truths and unchecked emotions can lead to devastating outcomes. Join the conversation, support awareness for marginalized communities, and explore more eye-opening stories. Subscribe to our platform today and never miss an update. Marcus had always been the kind of man who respected Ebony's privacy. But the growing unease and gnawing at him had pushed him to a point he never thought he'd reach. One evening, while Ebony was out with friends, Marcus did something that felt unthinkable. He decided to search through her belongings. He wasn't proud of it, but he was desperate for answers, anything to explain the ever-widening chasm between them. As he rifled through her drawers, his heart pounded with a mix of guilt and anticipation. Then he found it, a small, nondescript box tucked away in the furthest corner of their closet, hidden beneath layers of old clothes. His hands trembled as he opened it, revealing a stack of documents that immediately made his blood run cold. Among the papers was a birth certificate bearing a name he had never seen before, Elijah Davis. Confused and unsettled, Marcus kept digging. His fingers grazed medical records that made his breath catch in his throat. They dated back years, records detailing Ebony's transition from male to female. Marcus's world ground to a halt. It felt as though the room was closing in on him, the walls suffocatingly tight. His chest heaved as he tried to process what he was holding in his hands. The woman he had married, the woman he had promised to love, honor, and cherish, had kept this monumental truth from him. Ebony had been born male, and she had never told him. For Marcus, this wasn't just a secret. It was a devastating betrayal that shattered the foundation of everything he believed their relationship was built on. His mind swirled with a cacophony of emotions: anger, heartbreak, confusion. How could she have concealed something so profound? The person he thought he knew better than anyone else suddenly felt like a stranger. This discovery was the first domino in a sequence of events that would spiral into unimaginable horror. What Marcus didn't yet realize was that his feelings of betrayal and fury were teetering on the edge of something far darker, something violent and deadly. He sat frozen in stunned silence, the incriminating
Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Ooh, hold on, y'all.
But I didn't know how. I love you. This doesn't change who I am, who we are. Her trembling words only poured fuel on the inferno raging inside him. Doesn't change who you are. Marcus's voice rose, raw and jagged. You've been lying to me this entire time, Ebony. You tricked me into marrying you. Do you even understand what you've done? I gave you everything, my love, my loyalty, my life, and the whole time you've been lying about the most basic thing. About who you really are. Ebony's tears flowed freely, but she stood her ground, her voice shaking with both fear and resolve. I didn't tell you because I was afraid of losing you, she confessed, her words laced with anguish. You mean everything to me, Marcus. I thought, if you knew, you wouldn't love me anymore. Marcus's face twisted in fury, his features contorted with a venomous rage. You thought right, he spat, the venom in his tone cutting deeper than any knife. His emotions spiraled into a maelstrom of betrayal, disgust, and confusion. The room seemed to shrink, the walls closing in as his world crumbled around him. The woman he thought he knew, the life he thought he had built, it all felt like a cruel joke. Ebony's story is a poignant reminder of the importance of compassion and understanding in a world too quick to judge. Subscribe now for more stories that highlight the human experience, reveal heart. The argument escalated with every passing second, Marcus's fury a volatile live wire snapping with dangerous energy. Ebony, trapped between trying to explain herself and fearing what Marcus might do next, had never seen him like this, so unhinged, so consumed by hate. Marcus, please, she begged, her voice trembling as she tried to placate him. Just calm down. We can talk about this. I'll answer any questions you have, just, please, don't do anything rash. But Marcus wasn't listening anymore. His mind was a tempest of betrayal, drowning out reason. All he saw was red. His breath came in quick, shallow gasps, his fists clenched so tightly that his knuckles turned white. Calm down, he barked, his voice a deafening roar. You've been lying to me for years, and you want me to just calm down? Something in Marcus snapped. A blind, unrelenting rage overtook him as he stormed out of the bedroom and into the garage. His eyes darted around wildly until they landed on a hammer. Without a second thought, he grabbed it, his grip tightening with a chilling determination. He marched back into the house, his movements mechanical, his mind consumed by a primal fury. Ebony stood frozen in the bedroom, her wide eyes brimming with terror as Marcus entered, hammer in hand. Marcus, please, she began, but her words were cut off as he swung the hammer down with brutal force. Ebony screamed, throwing her arms up in a desperate attempt to shield herself, but Marcus was relentless. Blow after blow rained down with terrifying savagery. Her cries for mercy echoed through the house, but they were drowned out by the deafening roar of Marcus's blind rage. The walls of their once happy home were soon spattered with blood as Marcus's assault continued with unthinkable ferocity. The brutality was so extreme that detectives would later describe the crime scene as one of the most horrific they had ever encountered. But Marcus wasn't finished. Consumed by madness, he dragged Ebony's lifeless body into the bathroom, his mind spiraling deeper into the abyss. He stumbled into the kitchen, grabbed a knife from the drawer, and returned with a chilling emptiness in his eyes. Any shred of humanity that might have remained was gone. What followed was a gruesome act of desecration. Marcus mutilated Ebony's body with reckless abandon, slashing and cutting until she was unrecognizable. His rage knew no bounds. By the time he finally stopped, the woman he had once called his wife was reduced to a grotesque shadow of her former self. When the authorities arrived, they were met with a scene straight out of a nightmare. Blood painted the walls and floors, the air thick with the metallic scent of violence. In the center of it all, Marcus sat slumped on the floor, drenched in blood, staring blankly at the horror he had unleashed. His expression was one of haunting disbelief and fractured madness, as if he couldn't comprehend the monstrosity of his actions. In a daze, Marcus reached for his phone, his bloodied hands trembling as he dialed 911. When the operator answered, his voice was hollow, drained of all emotion. I killed her, he whispered, his words barely audible. The operator tried to keep him on the line, asking for details, but Marcus could hardly string together a coherent thought. His mind was a blur, his world irreparably shattered. All he knew was that his life, like Ebony's, was over. When the police finally broke through the door, they found Marcus sitting on the floor beside what remained of his wife, staring into the abyss of his own creation. Ebony's lifeless, mutilated body lay as a haunting testament to the unspeakable violence that had unfolded. Marcus, his face streaked with tears and his hands soaked in. The man who had once been a proud, hard-working husband was now a shattered shell of his former self, consumed by the unbearable weight of his actions. The news of Ebony's horrific death sent shockwaves rippling through their close-knit Houston community. As the media descended on the story, the gruesome details of her murder and her secret unraveled, igniting a nationwide firestorm. Some painted Marcus as a man deceived, broken by betrayal, while others denounced his actions as monstrous and unforgivable. But in the end, no amount of debate or outrage could bring Ebony back. What had begun as a secret, born out of fear, had culminated in a brutal and grotesque murder that left the entire nation reeling. When the police pulled Marcus from the blood-soaked floor of their suburban home, the full weight of the tragedy became agonizingly clear. Neighbors gathered outside, horrified whispers floating through the thick, humid Houston air. Blue and red lights painted the night with an eerie glow, their flicker reflecting off the shattered pieces of two ruined lives. Inside, Marcus, still drenched in Ebony's blood, appeared detached from reality. His blank, vacant eyes stared ahead, as if his mind couldn't fully grasp the nightmare he had created. The detectives who arrived on the scene were seasoned professionals, accustomed to the darker corners of humanity. But nothing could have prepared them for the sheer horror that awaited inside. Ebony's body, so savagely mutilated that it was nearly unrecognizable, lay in a crimson pool on the bathroom floor. The walls, once pristine, had become a macabre canvas splattered with violence. The entire house echoed with the horror of what had transpired, its once loving atmosphere now suffocated by the weight of betrayal and death. At the police station, Marcus sat alone in an interrogation room, his bloodied clothes replaced by a stark white jumpsuit. Yet, no amount of scrubbing or changing could erase the horror of what had transpired. It lingered on his skin like a dark stain that would never wash away. Hours passed as detectives worked to unravel the events that led to such a brutal act. "Why did you do it, Marcus?" one detective asked, his voice calm yet firm, probing for any crack in Marcus's wall of silence. For the first time since his arrest, Marcus looked up. His hollow, haunted eyes reflected an abyss of sorrow and disbelief. "I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing," he mumbled, his voice barely above a whisper. "I loved her. And she lied to me. She wasn't who she said she was." The detective leaned forward, his tone sharpening with insistence. "So you decided to beat her to death? To mutilate her? Do you even comprehend what you've done, Marcus?" Marcus's gaze fell again, and he sank back into silence, as though the weight of his actions had become too overwhelming to bear. It was clear that something had broken inside him, something fragile, pushed beyond its limits by a toxic cocktail of betrayal, rage, and his own insecurities. The ripple effects of this case are still felt, shedding light on the realities faced by many in the trans community. Be part of the movement to amplify voices and demand change. Subscribe to our updates and help us keep these critical conversations alive.
Thank y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. Oh, look at I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm gonna say SD. Thank you. You came late. I might be back on here in the next hour or two, but I gotta attend to my family right quick. So thank y'all for hanging out with Ella Gray Being Random Podcast. Thank y'all. Look, please subscribe to my fan club. It's number $5. One time, $5. Y'all, I'm telling you, I got so much stuff coming up for 2025. I've been working on it since April. Some amazing guests. Oh my God. Some of them got to be anonymous because, they're going through some cases and things like that. So they got to remain anonymous. But you will be able to still ask them questions. They're going to give details, things like that. It's going to be It's gonna be phenomenal. Like when you go in my section where I post, you'll see all the stuff that's coming up. That I have for fan club members. I'm also gonna have a lot of stuff for my regulars because I love y'all so much. We're gonna be doing trivia games. We're gonna do all kind of different family feud. I'm collaborating with my YouTube channel so y'all can see my goofy family. Y'all can see the bloopers, the real bloopers, the behind scenes situations, things like that. So y'all listen. That fan club members, want to be fan club members. It's gonna help me with opening my group home for preteen and teen girls at risk. That's my passion. That's my love. That's one of my purposes on this earth. I know that's God's will. At $5 because I have to have 6 months of operating costs before I can open up the group home. Please, y'all, come on. Be a part of something great. I'm glad the election is over with. Oh my God, I'm so glad the election is over with. Y'all, listen. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love y'all so much. Because being with me, hanging out with me, listening to me be random. I be randomly switching up all kinds of, that's why it's called Ella Gray being random. I don't have a specific time. I don't have a specific date. Just keep your notification on. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Listen. Great things is coming ahead, y'all. I'm so serious. Peace, love, and prosperity, y'all.